feature news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. On the occasion of the new Hijra year, His Majesty Sultan Qaboos exchanges cables of greetings with Their Highnesses and Excellencies, the leaders of Arab and Muslim countries. France pushes for United Nations draft resolution on a ceasefire in the Syrian city of Aleppo. And mega hurricane Matthew roars across the Caribbean on a course that puts Jamaica and Cuba in the path of a potentially devastating winds and rain. Those were the headlines, and now for the news in detail. On the occasion of the new Hijra year and the anniversary of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has exchanged cables of greetings with Their Highnesses and Excellencies, the leaders of the friendly Arab and Muslim countries. In his cables, His Majesty the Sultan expressed his sincere greetings and best wishes of good health, happiness, and long life for them, praying to Allah the Almighty for the return of this happy occasion and make the new year a year of welfare and peace for all people and the Islamic nation for their progress and prosperity. In their cable to His Majesty the Sultan, the leaders of the friendly countries expressed their sincere greetings and best wishes of good health, well-being and long life to His Majesty the Sultan, praying to Allah the Almighty for the return of this blessed occasion on His Majesty for many years to come, to achieve all aspirations of further progress, welfare and prosperity for His loyal people and all Muslims' well-being and progress. His Majesty the Sultan has exchanged cables of greetings with custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, President of the United Arab Emirates, His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa of the Kingdom of Bahrain, His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, Emir of the State of Qatar, His Highness Sheikh Sobah Al Ahmed Al Jabir Al Sobah, Emir of the State of Kuwait, His Majesty King Abdullah II Ibn Al-Hassan of Jordan, His Majesty King Mohammed VI of Morocco, His Excellency President Biji Caid Esbi of Tunisia, His Excellency President Abdulaziz Bouteflika of Algeria, His Excellency President Ismail Omar Guelleh of Djibouti, His Excellency Field Marshal Omar Hassan Ahmed Al-Bashir, President of Sudan, His Excellency President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud of Somalia, His Excellency President Dr. Fouad Massam of Iraq, His Excellency President Mahmoud Abbas of the State of Palestine, Chairman of the Executive Committee of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, His Excellency President Othman Ghazi of the Comoros, His Excellency President Fayez al-Siraz of Libya, His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi of Egypt, His Excellency President Mohammed Wald Abdul Aziz of Mauritania, His Majesty Sultan Haja Hassan of Bouteflika of Brunei, Jerusalem, His Majesty King Al-Mutasim Bilal Abdul Halim Muazzah of Malaysia, His Excellency President Dr. Ilham Haider Aliyev of Azerbaijan, His Excellency President Dr. Ashraf Ghani of Afghanistan, His Excellency President Joko Widodo of Indonesia, His Excellency Nammat Allah Yudashiv, Acting President and Chairman of the Senate of Uzbekistan, His Excellency Dr. Hassan Rouhani, President of Iran, His Excellency President Mamnoon Hussain of Pakistan, His Excellency President Mohammed Abdul Hamid of Bangladesh, His Excellency President Gurbani of Turkmenistan, His Excellency President Recep Tayyip Erdogan of Turkey, His Excellency President Idris Deby of Chad, His Excellency President Ali Bongo of Dima of Gabon, His Excellency President Dr. Yahya Jammeh of Gambia, His Excellency President Macky Sall of Senegal, His Excellency President Imo Mali Rak of Tajikistan, His Excellency President Almaz of Kyrgyzstan, His Excellency President Nur Sultan of Kazakhstan, His Excellency President Abdul Yamin of Maldives, His Excellency President Maman of Niger, His Excellency President Mohammed of Nigeria, and His Excellency President Ibrahim Boubacar of Mali. His Majesty also received cables of greetings from Their Highnesses and Excellencies, the ministers, advisors, honourable members of the state and shura councils, as well as the Omani ambassadors abroad. Senior Arab officials, sheikhs and citizens, while expressing their sincere greetings to His Majesty of best wishes and good health, well-being and long life to His Majesty the Sultan and the Omani people, more progress and prosperity. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Alpha Kondo of Guinea on his country's independence anniversary. Officials at Arab Chamber of Commerce and Industry agreed that the investment environment in the Sultanate is considered promising and attractive for investors due to political and social stability, geographical location and availability of natural resources in the Sultanate. The officials affirmed that the Sultanate's government created a suitable climate to attract investment and the local and international levels through providing incentive facilities and through qualifying national cadres and promoting a group of national investment programs like economic free zones in Dakam, Sohar Industrial Estate, Salalah Port, in addition to transformative industries, tourism, pisciculture and services. Within the framework of the current economic situation, the Central Bank of Oman implemented an appropriate cash policy, taking in regard the decline in liquidity status as well as to support the economic diversification. As the oil prices are at a low level, leading to the availability of more money in the banks and facilitating the loan procedures. The statistics show that the investments of the commercial banks reached more than 2.5 billion Omani riyals by the end of July 2016. On the level of Islamic banking, the statistics show the financial balance rose to reach around 2 billion Omani riyals by the end of July 2016. The Directorate General of Meteorology stated that the northern parts of the Sultanate may be affected by deep air troughs in the coming 3 days, accompanied by scattered thunder shower on Hajar Mountains and its neighbouring wilayas, Governorate of Musandam and parts from the Sea of Oman coasts. Seas will be moderate along most of the Sultanate's coasts. Muscat Security Market General recorded a decline during September to lose 8 points. The financial sector rose by 45 points to close at more than 7,000 points, while the industry sector declined by 48 points and the services index lost 27 points. This decline came due to the Gulf markets being affected by the fact that oil prices remain at the level of $45 per barrel and the increase of financial pressure on GCC countries' budgets. The first winter tourism season flight coming from Slovakia arrived at Salalah Airport with more than 170 passengers. Another tourism flight coming from Italy will arrive at the airport tomorrow with 310 passengers on board. The winter season in the Sultanate, and especially in Salalah, witnesses an increase in the number of European tourists to enjoy this season. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Department of Craft Industries and the Governorate of Dakhliya organized an exhibition to highlight handicrafts, especially for ceramic industries. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. France discussed a UN draft resolution on opposing a ceasefire in Syria's background city of Aleppo, with Russia, the United States, and 2 other permanent Security Council members. The draft text calls for a cessation of hostilities in Aleppo, where the Syrian army has launched an offensive to retake the rebel-held east of the city. The proposed resolution would also provide for aid deliveries to besieged eastern Aleppo and the grounding of all Syrian and Russian planes in that area. A ceasefire monitoring mechanism would be set up with the experts from the 20 national international Syrian support groups, ISSG, taking part. The United Nations is calling for a weekly 48-hour ceasefire to allow vital humanitarian aid deliveries to reach war-battled civilians in Aleppo. The new diplomatic push at the United Nations came as the United States said earlier that US-Russia talks to revive the ceasefire deal were on life support. Russian warplanes struck rebel-held areas north of Aleppo today as the army shelled the besieged old quarter in a major offensive. Russia was reported to be sending more warplanes to Syria to ramp up its air campaign, as the United States said it had not yet given up finding a diplomatic resolution. The latest strikes come 10 days into Russian-backed Syrian government offensives to capture rebel-held eastern Aleppo and crush the last urban stronghold of a revolt against Syrian President Bashar al-Assad that began in 2011. Today's airstrikes focused on major supply lines into rebel-held areas, the Castella Road and Mala district, while fighting raged in the Suleiman al-Halaba neighborhood in the front line to the north of Aleppo's old city. The army said it would press its advantage after retaking last Thursday the strategic Handrath camp north of Aleppo that has already changed hands once since the start of the attack. Hurricane Matthew weakened slightly today as it headed towards Jamaica and Cuba, but with winds reaching 250 kilometers per hour, forecasters said the storm was still powerful enough to wreck homes as islanders brace for its arrival. Matthew, the strongest hurricane in the Atlantic Ocean since Felix in 2007, was forecast to make landfall as a major storm on Monday on Jamaica's southern coast, home to the country's capital, Kingston, and its only oil refinery. It could also affect tourist destinations such as Montego Bay in the north. Jamaica was hard hit by the Hurricane Gilbert in 1988, and the last major hurricane in the region was Sandy in 2012. Matthew could be the most powerful storm to cross the island since records began. India and Pakistan troops exchanged fresh fire across their border today as UN Chief Ban Ki-moon ordered to mediate between the nuclear-armed neighbors, following an alarming spike in tensions. Series of strikes were carried out at the dividing line in disputed Kashmir, and officials said there had been cross-border skirmishes further south too. Although there were no casualties, the pre-dawn exchanges heightened the fear among villagers living along the border, tens of thousands of whom had already been ordered to leave home. The exchanges came shortly before Indian Army Chief Dalbir Singh traveled to the Northern Command headquarters, which are in Jammu and Kashmir, to meet soldiers involved in Thursday's strikes. The Himalayan region, the Indian side of which forms the bulk of the country's only Muslim major state, is at the heart of the latest tensions which have been mounting in the last 3 months. A Pakistan-based militant group carried out a raid on an Indian Army base in mid-September, which killed 19 soldiers, the deadliest such attack in over a decade. Al-Juma Souk in the wilaya of Jailan Bani Bu Ali in the governorate of South Sharqiya is considered one of the most important landmarks in the area. The souk witnessed active purchasing movements on Friday and is located at the center of the wilaya. The souk includes handicrafts famous in the wilaya. People from the wilaya and the nearby areas flock to the souk in the early hours of the morning to buy fruits, vegetables, meat, fish and nuts. The prices of the products in the souk are generally competitive. Oman Ceramic is the title of Craft Industries exhibition organized by the Department of Craft Industries in the Wilaya of Nizwa in the Governorate of Dakhliya. The exhibition aimed to highlight handicrafts, especially ceramic industries in the Governorate. The exhibition came to underline efforts being exerted by the Public Authority for Craft Industries to preserve the trade. It attracted a great number of variety society segments. The Ministry of Endowments and Religious Affairs announced not seeing the crescent of month for the year 1438. Therefore, tomorrow Sunday will be the completed day of month through Al-Hajjah 1437, and the day after tomorrow will be the first day of the new Hijra year. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. On the occasion of the new Hijra year, His Majesty Sultan Qaboos exchanged cables of greetings with Their Highness and Excellencies, the leaders of the Arab and Muslim countries. France pushes for a United Nations draft resolution on a ceasefire in the Syrian city of Aleppo. And mega hurricane Matthew roars across the Caribbean on a course that puts Jamaica and Cuba in the path of a potentially devastating winds and rain. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studio, it's good night.